This morning, we are joined by Terri Bennett, who will give you some short remarks. Then, on behalf of Terri, I will introduce Mr. Phil Kent of the organization called ProEnglish, which supports Terri's cause both morally and financially. Terri wishes to thank ProEnglish for its support and for making possible Terri's ability to challenge Pima College today and hereafter. I will introduce Terri, then she will make a few comments, Phil Kent will make a few comments, and then we'll take some questions. Thank you very much. I'd like to introduce Terri Bennett at this time. Terri?
I'd like to thank you for listening to me and my story today. I want you to know that Pima Community College has traumatized me, and I went by all of their protocols in giving my grievance to the school, and instead of helping me and accommodating me, they decided to retaliate against me for my opinions and harass me. I just want Pima to make this right. I want to become a nurse, and I want to thank Mr. Munger, Ms. Parsons, and ProEnglish for allowing me to do so, to make things right and to give me my rights. Thank you.
Thank you, Terri. And at this time, I'd also like to introduce Mr. Phil Kent, who is a member of the Board of Directors of ProEnglish. We appreciate Phil coming here to give us moral and financial support. So at this time, Phil Kent. Phil, thank you.
Thank you, John. It's a sad day that we're here filing this suit in Arizona. It's a sad day. It's a sad day in the United States of America for this woman to be persecuted and insulted, discriminated against. Terri, come here a second. We have your back here at ProEnglish. We are not going to allow this to stand. As she and her attorneys have said, justice must prevail here. It's disgraceful what Pima Community College has done. Check out our website at www.proenglish.org. We will keep the press and the public informed about your case. And I would like to reiterate that Arizona is one of 31 states that has an official English statute that has been flouted. And this, again, shall not stand. Terri, hang in there.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Phil, and thanks for your support. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, we'll now take any questions you may have, if there are any.
What are you guys seeking out of the case? What are you seeking?
Well, the case has initially been filed in three parts, the two of which have been filed. The first, we filed an appeal from the decision of Pima College, which is an administrative type appeal, just seeking reversal of its decisions. But a mere reversal is not enough. It will leave her record tainted and leave her defamed for life. The second thing that we have done is we have filed suit this morning seeking what's called non-monetary relief in court. Non-monetary relief means just what it says, relief other than monetary damages. We are required by law to give, before seeking monetary damages, to first send a claim letter to the state of Arizona and Pima College demanding settlement of this matter, seeking settlement and financial resolution. We have to give them 60 days to respond. At the end of 60 days, if they have not responded and if this case is not settled, we will immediately move to amend our complaint to seek monetary damages in addition to the non-monetary damages that we've already sought beginning today.
In the appeal, in the suit you filed today, it mostly focuses on the actions of, in the classroom, the actions of students. What language were the teachers teaching it?
The teachers, as far as I can tell, and I'll have to get into further detail, don't hold me to this. I think they were speaking English, but you need to understand that a large portion of these classes, a very, very significant portion of these classes, consisted of study groups, labs, and clinicals all separately. These students were assigned into these study groups and having to do their study groups as one part, their labs as another part, their clinicals as a third part, is a very large part of the program, as much as 50% or more. So that's a huge part of the problem. If we're going to have students learning through study groups, labs, and clinicals in groups, then they need to be taught in English. These study groups, labs, and clinicals are not a separate part of the program. They are an integrated part of the overall coursework. They are part of the teaching program. And in that context, the teaching program has not been taught in English, and it needs to be taught in English.
In an area where a significant number of people are Spanish speakers, wouldn't it be tough to be a nurse without having some facility in Spanish?
Well, that's a different issue. That's an issue for the employers, where Terri works and under what circumstances she works. And it belies the issue that Terri has a constitutional right to be taught in Spanish, or in English, excuse me. She has a constitutional right to be taught in English. People can make all the excuses they want why she ought to know Spanish. And I submit to you, maybe someday she'll learn Spanish. But Terri has a right to be taught in English, to learn in English. And whether or not it would be better for her to know Spanish is irrelevant, frankly. It's not an excuse to have Terri's constitutional rights of freedom of speech and the right to be taught in English violated. To say that maybe she should learn Spanish. It's not an excuse.
Wouldn't those other students have a freedom of speech right to speak?
They have a freedom of speech right, and nobody's challenging those freedom of speech rights. But very frankly, they also have a right to be taught in English. And Pima College, most importantly, has a duty to teach in English. Nobody has ever said that these other students haven't been able to speak. If you want to look at what this lawsuit is about, this lawsuit is about Terri's right of freedom of speech to express her views through the proper protocols at Pima College, as dictated by Pima College, which she did, and for which she was attacked, harassed, and retaliated against. Pima College has no right to do that, especially when Terri is expressing her right to be taught in English. It's Pima College's problem to accommodate Terri and to teach her according to the law. And Pima College has no excuse to do otherwise.
John, you said there are no other programs available in Pima County, in Tucson. There's a U of A School of Nursing, and Grand Canyon University also has a nursing program.
Well, the frank fact of the matter is, number one, her financial aid program has been cut off by Pima College. So she no longer has financial aid. The federal government has basically been told that she's a racist, and that's the reason her federal aid has been cut off. In essence, that's the implication. The question is whether she'll ever be able to get federal aid again. Number two, she doesn't qualify to go to the University of Arizona at this time. And number three, it doesn't have the program that she wants, and neither does Grand Canyon College. It is not an excuse for Pima College to violate Terri's constitutional rights because they think that maybe she could go someplace else. That simply is not an excuse. They have to honor her constitutional rights, and they have failed to do that. And they have failed to do that in the most outrageous manner. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. We appreciate your coming this morning. We look forward to working with you in this matter and hope you'll follow our case. Thank you.